What's the most hurtful thing you've overheard about yourself by accident? Part 4. Hearing something about us by mistake could both be good and bad. Good if it is a compliment, and bad, moreover disappointing, if it's something not so sweet about you. Today, our Redditors share their stories about how they've heard bad stuff said by others about them by accident. My wife had a falling out with some friends of mine that she met through me. We had known them a long time, but I had known them for much longer. I was upset with her one night because they were always asking why she never came around anymore, but she absolutely refused to see them. I always thought it was because of this little side business project they went into together that didn't work out. So I'm driving my wife somewhere, and I just start getting upset with her that she won't make up with them and move past it like they did, and it just sucks that she never comes when I go over there. So she finally broke and told me the truth. Friends sure can change over time. When I was in the 5th grade, one of my friends accidentally invited me to an online chat room called the I Hate Cloud 13 chat room. When someone realized I was in the chat, they unloaded on me, pointing out every flaw I had and why no one in school liked me. The rest of the chat room followed suit and said some pretty awful things to me, including how I should kill myself and that no one would miss me. A few of my closest friends even chimed in at this point and agreed with everything being said. I started to self-mutilate and pretty much went the rest of middle school and high school without friends, unable to trust people or get close to people. To this day, I can pretty much count how many true friends I have on one hand. Kids can be f***ing awful. That's true. Kids can be super awful and mean. This seems super small and weird, but my best friend growing up recently found her old hard drive from when we were in grades 6 and 7, and we were going through it together. She was letting me go through whatever because it was all so old, and I'm 20 now, and it didn't really seem to matter. I found a lot of old MSN chat logs, throwback, where she and other people from my middle school class were just ripping me to shreds, calling me ugly, annoying, fat, all that good stuff. Fun times. Who knew digging old stuff could hurt so bad? I imagine this will be buried by now, but hey, it's Christmas. I was over at a sleepover with my 3 best friends and was woken up by something in the night. While trying to get back to sleep, I heard my name, so obviously I listened in. 2 of my friends were discussing how to phase me out of the group. It felt like they talked about it for hours about how weird I was, how boring I was, and how much of a chore I was. It was gutting. On a positive side, I found new friends, told them about it all, and my previous friends were pretty much ignored by everyone outside of their little group. So, they got what they wanted, and I got what I didn't know I needed. Karma sure is there. My mother and father were both dumb enough to write awful letters to the judge that presided over my sister's case. The letters were a sad attempt to make me the bad guy somehow and my sister out to be the good person. My sister was charged with felony child neglect. I had 0 involvement and I live in a different state. The letters were dated on my birthday. This was the final straw with their crazy shit. You should move out, girl. I have autism and was an odd little child that would make up games and rules all the time. I heard my aunt telling my mom that she didn't want me over at her house anymore to play with her daughter. I was 7 and my cousin and little sister were 5. My aunt said something like, "It's fine if you want your normal child over, but I don't need the insert my name giving the child weird ideas." I didn't really understand that at the time. Thinking about it now, though, hurts. Now that's just straight up rude. My boss mocking me to the entire team. To be fair, I was being a bitch, but it wasn't without reason. The product I was working on was not working as intended, so I kept getting further and farther behind overall. When I brought up my concerns with production, potentially contaminating my product and causing it to behave incorrectly, he told me that the product wasn't the problem. It was because I wasn't working fast enough. I got extremely frustrated because I had 0 support on this. I had massive pressure and needed to get this done, so with frustration tears running down my face, I snapped something along the lines of, "Okay, fine. I guess this is just how we do business now. I'll push it through." An hour later, I heard him behind the hoods in his most high-pitched, condescending, mocking girl voice to everyone I work closely with, and I'm the only female on my team, repeating, "Okay, fine. I guess this is just how we'll do business now. I'll push it through," when he incorrectly recounted our conversation, making me look really bad. The worst part, though, there was really a problem with production. It was a huge one, and he took credit for discovering it. My team does not respect me anymore after that. I'm now just talked down to. It feels so horrible that I let my emotions get the better of me once, and in a matter of 5 minutes, everyone's perception of me changed so drastically that I can't get anyone to take anything I say seriously. It has gotten so bad that I'm looking for another job, and now I'm willing to take significantly lower pay just to escape the emotional female ghost that now haunts me. They should give her a shot at least. Just graduated. Overheard my mom telling my younger brother, who's entered grade 7, "Don't be like your brothers. I'm a twin. I want your name on the wall." Parents, stop with this comparisons now. I was a youth pastor. Overheard a parent of one of my youth talking to one of my coworkers about how overweight I was and how I didn't care about my life. They talked about how I was setting a terrible example for the youth and how I just disregarded my own health. They said I was going to die by 30, I'm 27, and then the mom said that the only reason she got onto SPRC, the Staff Parish Relations Committee, the committee who does all the hiring at the church, just so she could get me fired because she thought I was overweight. She said that she manipulated the pastor to get elected to the committee just to make me sign a contract that if I didn't lose the weight, I would be fired. Needless to say, I don't work there anymore because I left on my own. No worries, pastor. You have proved them wrong. How about on purpose? The day after my mom's funeral, my stepfather looks at me and says, "I guess we don't need you around here anymore. You might as well get out." He said it ever so casually and walked away. My mother was diabetic, and up until then, I was her main caregiver. I even injected her insulin. I had just turned 19 when she died, and my stepfather's statement didn't surprise me, as we never saw eye to eye, so I got my shit together and got out and didn't look back. I ended up having to pay for the bastard's funeral, but that's another story. Girl, you should not have paid for that. The stories this time were extremely disappointing and sad. We hope that not everyone has to face such hate. Have you ever faced similar experiences? How did you deal with it? Comment your thoughts down below. And please subscribe to our channel if you haven't until now. Please like the video as well.